All right, let's talk about taxes. Talking about taxes, man. We ain't talking about the game. We're talking about taxes. All right, so what do taxes work? Hello, we're just going to tax suppliers? Extra points if you guess who that is in the comments. Let's just tax suppliers. Do you think that'll affect supply or demand? Well, it has the word supply in it. So why don't we tax suppliers? Do you think, hey, I'm going to get taxed more, I'm going to make more, or hey, I'm getting taxed, I can make less? Guess what? You're going to make less. Just keep in mind, movements to the left is movements towards zero, movements to the right is a movement towards a lot. So let's go supply post-tax. By the way, what does that do? That just raises price post-tax. So who's really paying this tax after all? We'll talk about that here in a second. But there we go. We're going to drop down to this quantity here. So there's quantity post-tax. All right. So you sell less for a higher price, so that works. Thanks, government. One thing to look at here. In the past in our class, we've talked about the tax wedge, and I've just kind of drawn it in there. Here's how it's actually derived. You see this new equilibrium here? You have your old equilibrium there. That's actually your market value. All right, the price at equilibrium. Well, if you drop a line down to that original supply schedule, because there's a transitional period here when people are being taxed as suppliers, that right there is your tax wedge. That's the size of the tax. Okay? Now, if you had $5 in your back pocket and you went to Walmart and you picked something off the shelf and it was $5, that was the price on it, that's the market value, do you have enough money to buy that if all you have is $5? And you guys would eventually say, no. Why? Because I have to go to the register and pay taxes. So the price that we see is the market price, but then when we go to check out, it's that market price plus tax. Guess what? That's what this is. Okay? This is the price that buyers pay. Right there. Okay? Suppliers aren't idiots. They know that you are going to buy less stuff. In fact, that's what happens. Okay? If you have to pay more of it and your price goes up, that's just the law of demand. They also take less because they know if they pay some of the tax and take less than market value, you will not come too far back. You will come back, but you'll not come back as far. This is the price that sellers get. Okay, so we got three things here. We've got the price that buyers pay. So the market price, that's the second thing. That's the price tag. At Walmart, it says $5. But then you go to the checkout and let's say it's $5.25. Okay, this is the difference here. But whoever you're buying it from knows that they better take less or else you're going to buy even less. So the price that sellers get is down here. So let's do an example here. I'll do it in green because that means money. All right, let's say the market price was $5. You at checkout, you pay $5.25, and whoever you're buying it from only takes in $4.75. This is how taxes work. Man, my graph was so much simpler before the government got involved. So let's take a look here. What is the size of this tax? Again, the size of the tax is the height of this line from the original supply curve up to the new equilibrium. That little thing there is my tax wedge. That's the size of my tax. All right. And then what is my quantity? Right there. This pen doesn't work. We're going to throw it away. And what is this box then? You know what that box is right there? That's the tax revenue. Why is it the tax revenue? Because the tax revenue equals the size of the tax. If I could write, the size of the tax times the quantity taxed. Okay? So what's the size of this tax? If this is $5.25 and that's $4.75, the difference here is 50 cents. Kind of like the rapper, only the music here. Alright? So we've got the size of the tax, the distance between here is 50 cents. Let's say this is a quantity of 10. Alright? So our size of our tax is 50 cents times the quantity 10. This is a $5 tax. Alright? And then let's take it one step further. What is tax incidence? Tax incidence. That means who pays what? Well, that's kind of simple from the consumer's end because we know this is the market price, right? This is the market price, so we're willing to buy whatever it is for that $5. And we know we're going to pay that $5 plus tax. So this half right here is paid by buyers. All right. And this bottom half down here, the producer knows if they try to take the whole $5 and put the whole tax on you, you will pay less, or you will buy less rather. So they know the market value is $5, but they take $4.75. So this bottom half of the box down here, that's what sellers pay of the tax. But wait a minute. This was supposed to be a tax just on suppliers. This is just a case of mistaking identity. The people making the policy think they can design the economy. In fact, some people think there's a steering wheel on the economy when the economy is actually, in truth, a Category 5 hurricane bearing down on the coast. There's no steering wheel in it. Well, technically, there could be some cars floating around in there and spinning around, and they have steering wheels. But if you went to the coast and said, "Stop, hurricane," it's not going to work. Okay? And neither does, "Hey, I'm just going to tax businesses." That's freaking fairy dust, okay? Welcome to economics and basic understanding. Hello? All right? That's ugly, but hopefully you followed it all the way through. Let's move over here for a second. All right? Let's put a tax on let's go with buyer. Surely if I get taxed more, I'm going to demand more and move to the right. Wrong. You're going to move to the left. Remember, we don't say up and down where we're moving here. We're either moving to the left towards zero or to the right towards a lot in economics. So we're moving to the left. That's my demand post-tax. Guess what? That's my new equilibrium. Draw that line up to the old demand curve. Here's the price that buyers pay. Here's the market price. Right there in the middle with the equilibrium. Got me? There is the price that sellers get. All right. This half of the box is paid by sellers, the bottom. This half is paid by buyers. If you give me the area of that box, that is your tax incidence. But wait, it's supposed to be just bone buyers. Yeah, that's not how the economy works. Do I need to go through the hurricane example again? Or you could do the reading, watch this video, watch my PowerPoint video, make sure you come to class and all the other things, and then do your homework and ace it. So I hope this helped. That's the end of this particular video on taxes. Man, we talking about taxes. We're not talking about the game, we're talking about taxes. Guess what? We need to actually talk about taxes and elasticity. Come back for the next video, we'll do it then.